Guys, B-Boy Vinzel here, and yeah, welcome to my top B-Girls of 2023. Keep in mind, this is only my opinion, and pretty much, it's just like from what I seen, I feel like, I shuffled the list so much because it's like there's a part of me where I'm trying to please people, like, oh, it's probably their favorite. No, I shouldn't. Should be my favorite. This is my list. It's called my top, even though, as you can see on the screen here, it says top B girls of 2023, not mine. But yeah, I forgot to put that. But who cares really? We're just gonna get this started. Any opinions? I don't want to hear it. I do not care. I honestly do not care. I can easily block the comments because, well, I do not care. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I just haven't cared about this channel, which I feel bad sometimes. There's times where I'm just like not really that nonchalant about like really showing my hatred for YouTube and the algorithm sometimes. Not for this channel, but for my main channel. Yeah, it's also been tough. Even if you get like 10,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, you still struggle. Okay, and here I am with literally below almost like 100 or maybe 100. It feels like I have zero subscribers here. Okay, there's no one watching these damn videos. But other than that, enough. I'm just giving you my opinion because who really makes this list? I don't see anyone making this list. I don't see anyone really making any top tens of like within breaking. Okay, I'm just surprised there's a freaking B-Boy Awards. Shout out to Break Free. But yeah, listen, this is just my personal list. I don't really seem to react much when it comes to the B-Girl battles. In a sense, I don't know why, but yeah, let's just do this and have some fun. Just chill. Top B girls of 2023, giving you my opinions and also a little couple things, which is stuff that I'm a cheerer for the underdogs. I'm a cheerer for the underdogs. So you're gonna be surprised on this list, or not. You're gonna be like, oh well, that's typical, or probably no one's gonna watch this. I don't know. It always feels like that. No one's gonna watch this, but someone is gonna watch it. At least one person, and I guess that counts. Anyways, for our top 10, we got Alessandrina, and pretty much I seen this big girl like even like during the Strife days. And let me tell you, Strife TV, if anyone's old enough to remember that, we're talking about like years ago. We're talking about like it almost feels like decades at this point. And I remember seeing her when she was like a little girl. If anything, she's probably my age. Like, she's still like I just remember being a little kid, like probably in middle school, watching b-boy battles on the freaking laptops with my and my teacher would be also watching with us. Those were the times, okay? Middle school were the times, okay? Like seventh grade, if anybody remember the introduction of YouTube, gosh, I'm dating myself. But yeah, Alessandrina, like pretty much I seen her for the longest time. And I get that, she's like in this low in this list because there's no other Italian B girl that is really that I'm, sort of like crazy for much. Spider Girl is dope. Auntie is, there was literally a back and forth where I'm like, okay, is it Auntie or Alessandria? It's either one of these because I guarantee they're probably friends and both of them are part of like the Italian Olympic squad. Basically, they're part of the Olympic breaking federation. But my throat. For this one, like it just seems like when I think about Italy, I think about big girl Alessandria, especially for this long, just watching her and blow ups. And I know that some people might call her biter for like the back roll thing. I did as well because I'm like, oh my god, that's literally Rockadile. That's literally Rockadile. Oh my goodness. And also, it's kind of questionable if she's in like MCK. I'm like, oh, okay, she's part of MCK, which is like almost the all Italian squad as well. Daga as well, because I thought it was just Snap, but then Daga's in it. I think Auntie's in it. I could be wrong, but Alessandrina is also a part of it. I was like, well, okay, part of it, or of like MCK, and also she's part of Fila, which is I always think of like Fila needs to, a lot of smaller sneaker brands need to power up, and they need to be part of like within the breaking culture is like the smartest move on my part. Or not on my part, I mean on their part, if they are ever like to just really get at least an inch there in the mainstream, just to and also to give other b-boys and b-girls opportunities, or at least free shoes. I love seeing b-boys and b-girls get free shoes, and you get to see them break and progress with those shoes on the floor when they battle. So and also it's like an Italian brand as well, so I give props for Alessandria for that, but also like, yeah, just to put her in top 10, not that, as a, almost like an honorable mention, but also not, because that's what I think about top tens is like, it's either honorable mentions or probably just, just putting someone that I, admire, because there is no honorable mentions in this list, to be honest. Like, who really cares? I mean, J. Lou, Logistics, all of them. Trust me, there's some major ones as well, but Alessandria, yeah, from Italy. Number 9 is a B girl that I kind of been catching up and cheering a bit more, especially seeing her in the limelight in the BC one, and it is Tukina. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Tukina, and yeah, pretty much this Savage, B girl. By the way, she's part of okay, I'm gonna say this. I know people don't care about me cussing. YouTube does. Okay, YouTube does. That's why I don't cuss much, because YouTube be on me. Okay, like it's just unfair. I'm like, YouTube f off. Like, come on, man. Like, you just like literally I said the f word by mistake in my other channel, in this channel, and I got a freaking community guideline strike. It's so messed up. I'm like, what the heck, man? This is not a kids channel. Forget it. Funk Fockers, that she was part of. By the way, Funk Fockers being one of my favorite Brazilian b-boy crew, and also b-girl crew, because she's part of Funk Fockers, which is surprising when looking at her Instagram handle, because it's also part of like Onburn was in it, and Luan, B-Boy Luan. It's like the Vato like squad that pretty much, the Vatos of Brazil. I guarantee Brazil has probably like those types of gangs. I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna speak on that, but yeah, like they're just one of my favorites, because for the longest time I seen Funk Fuckers like just going out there and being really in depth within the major culture, and also just like seeing Luan also part of the Olympic team as well, and also, whenever go back to see Mixa, if you know B-Boy Mixa, like he is dope to watch as well. Like, just the essence of like Brazilian hip hop that is just emerged from this crew. And Takina really shows that. But also she's like has power and everything. Like, she's an underdog. And I hope to see her up there in the mainstream as well, because like she can definitely battle. She can definitely go hard. And Brazilian B girls are terrifying. Okay. There's just something about them that they just go hard. They're just like savvy and touchy, and just like, just beware if you ever meet a Brazilian B girl. But Takina, man, she goes off. Anyways, for number 8 is B girl Kate, and I just pretty much have to like put her in this list, knowing that I never did really put her at all in any of the lists, because she was also like, and for the longest time I was like refusing to put her on the list, because I just don't see a lot of her style. But for this one, is like, this year is an improvement, especially mixed with the battling aspect that she brings, and also having like, just the status of like knowing who B-Girl Kate is, and how, how she can really battle and how confident she is. Yeah, definitely I would actually, it's no surprise, especially for this year. Like, it's definitely like, yeah, she definitely deserves to be in this list for what she has done with the other Olympic events that she was part of. And, I'm not the best when it comes to describing style or describing like what they did in terms of moves and stuff like that. She got her signatures and she's getting better. And pretty much, I guess, moving in with like Victor as well, aka, one of the best USB boys out there. And also like the head Olympic of the world almost, but also still representing Ukraine. And I kind of respect that. I guess Ukraine and USA are somewhat like friends. At least that's what the news likes to put on. Okay, I'm not a political channel, but I just got a feeling. Okay, I don't know where that freaking $100 billion go. Okay, Biden just gives Ukraine that. Okay, good job. But it just seems like yeah, Kate definitely deserves to be in this list. I keep ignoring to put her in the list for many times, even though I didn't make a top 10 at all last year for some reason. But yeah, just be your girl Kate, and yeah, from Ukraine. Next up is for number seven, India. I feel like, people might criticize me for not putting India in the top spot in like the number two or number three or anything like that, or even number one. But I don't know. I just like keep remembering like, oh yeah, she won a couple events here and there, especially last year in New York, and she is definitely like just still keeping up that momentum still. So she is just pretty much carrying Hustle Kids as is, but also just like the little secret weapon that Hustle Kids have. Like she's going off. She got a Nike deal as well, and India is representing hard for just like for what she can really do in terms of her height and also her power, her signatures mixed in with other moves that she transitioned into. So I really like that about B girl India, because she is pretty much one of the best from when it comes to like the Dutch scene, but also in the world sense of like just in the Olympic scene, and many others in the Nike team as well, because Gilu's dope, but when it comes to the Nike team, like you have some hard hitters, Ami as well, and Nike's pretty smart. I guess they have somebody they're hiring in the b boy and b girl space, saying like, oh, they should like get this or this person as well for like the top. These are the top b boys, these are the top b girls, and they just give it to Nike and like, oh yeah, we're gonna sponsor them. So I guess India really matches up to that point. But her confidence, power, and also her battle response time and her quick reactions, just like, it's just going on and on. And yeah, it's just perfect. Even though I haven't been caught up with her much, I'm not crazy at all when it comes to India or any B girl in a sense. But other than that, yeah, B girl India definitely deserves some number seven. At least deserves to be a part of this list. But also, yeah, I get it, deserves to be higher. But yeah, for this one, number seven. Number six, this is funny. It looks like a freaking like passcode or something. Oh, what's the password? 667. Okay. But yeah, 671. And I know that she has a real name, but it is a hard name, so I refuse to say it. Other than that, yeah, 671 is pretty much the next one in this list. I mean, imagine with all that, ability that India has mixed with battle tactics. And even though they both seem to battle, like these two went each other, like they went to neck, especially in last year's at the BC one in New York. But for 671, really just bring it this year of just like extra oomph and just her like attitude mixed in with a lot of her powers and everything like that. Yeah, I just had to put her here for sure. Next up is Emma, another Battle Cats. I just seem to have like a group of Beagle Battle Cats in this one. But yeah, Emma is definitely one of those, okay? She's just like there's a part like there was times where I got so annoyed with Emma, but I guess that's what it means when it comes down to a B girl that just gets to you, especially for the audience watching. And she just goes in on everyone, doesn't care. Especially when I remember seeing her at freestyle session, like she just doesn't care like who she's going after. I'm like, damn, you're going after a rocks ride just like that? And she just like, talking and just bring it, like just getting it into the opponent's head. But also has like footwork power, and she's really approving. A lot of moves seems cleaner and cleaner as time moves on. And yeah, Canada's best, especially she was there present at the first ever Olympic Games in the youth games. But she just brings it way more and has her style matured, and also just the amount of combos she throws in, and also just not being afraid. Other than that, Nika is the next one for the number four spot. And definitely a B girl that whenever I see her, like I know what moves she does that is the samey and old and stuff like that. Not old, but I just it's a lot of predictions for sure. That's why I didn't put her at all in any of the lists. And she was young, but and also still young, but also bringing up with different movements and stuff that I never thought she would bring. She has this style, very loopy loop, like almost like a style that makes her look tall, but she isn't. And she just like the glides and everything like that, the bounciness to her movements, it's just a lot of like presentation, and especially just putting Lithuania in the map. I don't know any b-boys at all, any b-boys or b-girls from Lithuania, but apparently Nika just, you know, she's really up there and really climbing the ladder, bringing her country with her, from a country that you would expect, like, places. It's a place that is close to Ukraine and Russia, so you would think like, oh, there's probably some dope b-boys and b-girls there, and there are, but it's just that very, very unknown. I'm talking about really very unknown, and she just brings it in the map, and it's just like crazy to see. So yeah, Nika for the number 4 spot right here. Okay, Lithuania's best. Anyways, next up is Vanessa. Vanessa, to me, especially, like, the way she battles and how artistic and unorthodox her style is, definitely well deserved, because for the longest time, like, I just seen Vanessa and it's nonchalant to me for the longest time. And I say that the same thing with Sarah B and also other B girls in that region in Europe. But Vanessa, like, I just love to see her battle for sure. But also her response and just the way she goes at it with her attitude, mixed in with the moves that she got and the power that she has. Like, it's no wonder Adidas like sponsored, like, because she has that artistic approach for sure. And also her battling, next with Sunny, the Adidas team basically. Like, just, it makes it very well with what she brings to the table, that swifty movements, and also just, the like, I don't know how to describe it. Again, when it comes to any b-boys and b-girls, I'm the worst person to describe style or describe moves or anything like that. I have no idea what I'm talking about half of the time. Okay. Especially when it comes down to talking about breaking by myself. Usually I wish I had somebody next to me to actually talk about it, but even they might also like have no idea how to describe it, because it's so different, because it's different. It's not easy to really put it into words at all, I would say. But she has, like, unless it's like an orthodox style, and that's the only way I can bring it. But for her, and especially for height, and also how she's like able to just move, like her flow mixing with just what she brings to the table, just adds it more. And yeah, that's the way I can describe it, I guess. Next up is number 2, and I gotta put one, at least one from the US, and that is Pepsi. Pepsi just, I think I saw her, like, she's very versatile. I saw her in like an all-style battle, and she just rips it apart. She definitely fits well for like many people within the TikTok crowd. Not that that's a bad thing. Like, she just has that mixture, but also still keeping that breaking and, B-girl, essence, that breaking, just attitude, but also still adding in some, like, she doesn't add in like no TikTok moves with it, but it feels like, as TikTok is rising up, she just adapts it very well. I saw her, like, with this video in New York, and you will almost think like she's doing something like with Kid, or just some of these other, like, in Union Square. Like, I don't know what is up with that place. It feels like the most TikToks that are recorded out there in the world are, for whatever reason, over there in New York, and in Times Square or Union Square or whatever square. Um, but for Pepsi, like, she just like brings the hype. She gets the crowd going with her battle tactics and her move sets, and also power and everything like that. She has it all. She's very like diverse with it. And man, it's just like an ongoing melody that whenever I see her battle and enter, like, like, she's just like hungry. She's just going at it, just tearing like a tiger in the wild, basically. So yeah, Pepsi for the number 2 spots for me. And there's a good reason why that the number 1 makes sense, because I just had to add it in here. And I knew for a fact that, now thinking about it, I'm like, man, because when it comes down to any B girl that really gives me that like funk and just rhythm, it's Yasmin. I've seen Yasmin for the longest time, and this is like a new Yasmin now, okay? I First off, I didn't know Yasmin half black for the longest time. And one of the most historic things that happened in the BC1 in Japan is actually the first ever, like, Blasian winners, like, Nicholas, half black, half Japanese, and also Yasmin, half what, South African and also Japanese as well. And she killed it at the Japanese, like, BC1 qualifiers. But now she's out there in, like, the main finals, and it just feels like even in the main stage, she made the whole like the world final stage look like a freaking, like a backyard jam. Like, how do you do that with a B girl with a style like that? Because she just brings in so much funk, so much dancey rhythms. She's not really battling, and you would think, like, I pretty much, like, that would actually not really make it to the list. But the thing is that it feels like she's in her own world most of the time. She's creating her own world and telling it to the world of just like how, especially still delivering in a perfect amount of time of what she brings. And also just, it's a freaking, like, at the end of the day, it's a dance. And she brings that in the most authentic way as she can. So I really do like that about Yasmin, as what she brings. This is just my number one right here, because I can never really see any other B girl really do it better like her, in a sense. And she's from Japan, and she just brings it like a amount of funk that is just transferred within breaking. Because for the longest time I saw her like with power and also doing like freezes, and she used to be one of those B girls that she really is relied on those types of moves, and also picturing a very competition sense. But now she dumbed it down into a whole different version of her, where she's now into the dancing aspect, the funk aspect of breaking, and she brings it out there in the world stage. And it's something, and I would never forget when I first saw it. I was like, wow, this really, really matches. This really matches the diversity of many B girls, and that is in there, because you see a lot of B girls doing the biggest power moves, the biggest like burns. No, she's just dancing, and I can't help but respect that. Definitely deserves to be in the number one spot. And that right there is my top B girls of 2023. Thank you guys for watching. That's it. God bless.